We begin this hour with Grammy Award-winning rapper Macklemore. He burst onto the scene in 2012 with his hit single, Thrift Shop.
I'm gonna pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket.
Come on now, everybody knows that song. Macklemore is a four-time Grammy winner who's sold tens of millions of records. His music has been streamed more than 13 billion times. The rapper, whose real name is Benjamin Haggerty, is out with his first new album in more than 5 years. It's called Ben, and it's a very real look at the rapper's life, including mental health struggles and his battles with addiction. We recently went to see Macklemore in his hometown of Seattle, which is my hometown too. Our conversation touched on way more than just music, but that's where we started.
To be able to say that I went into multiple major labels and I played them 2 songs that would eventually go diamond. There's no better feeling to be like, they didn't get it.
How did that make you feel? Like, did you feel defeated or were you motivated?
Hungry.
That hunger for success and validation was a result of Ben Haggerty's upbringing in Seattle, Washington. A child of the 1980s, obsessed with pop music and pop culture.
My first memory of music was Michael Jackson. And right away I was like, yo, what this dude is doing on stage right now, I want to do that. Shortly after that, it was Digital Underground, Humpty Dance. And then The Neighbor played me NWA when I was 7. And that was it for me.
After making a name for himself in the Seattle rap scene with a number of mixtapes and solo releases, national success for Macklemore became reality. He built his following largely through social media and without backing from a major label. After college, he would link up with producer Ryan Lewis to independently drop The Heist in 2012.
I'm gonna pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket.
Thrift Shop was one of the diamond-plated songs record executives passed on months earlier.
They had a broken keyboard, I bought a broken keyboard. Looking for a better way to get up at a better instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit me kid.
It also included the smash Can't Hold Us.
Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us.
Those singles were released back-to-back, notching billions of digital streams. Macklemore and Lewis were music's hottest thing.
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
You win. Best rap album. A lot of people thought that Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, was the favorite going into that. You were somewhat conflicted. So much so, you text him an apology.
Exactly. I wouldn't say that I was slightly conflicted. I was very conflicted. I'm also looking at it from the lens of who wins these award shows? Who's won them historically? I've been watching white artists win Grammys over black artists who are at the core of where the culture came from.
You've called out this same system that awarded you.
So here I am, and I'm like, if I don't say something right now, when I'm benefiting from this same system that I've been calling out for the last 15 years, what does that say about me?
We take all we want from black culture, but will we show up for black lives?
You could just write and reach for radio hits. And you're also a white rapper in hip hop.
Right.
Why do you feel like it's necessary for you to rap about those things?
I think that it's important as a white person within hip hop to realize that you are a guest.
Yeah.
That this culture was birthed out of oppression that we were not a part of, or we were a part of the other side of it. And if I don't talk about it, if I just pretend like it's all good and I'm taking the best parts of culture and I'm not giving back, then what am I doing?
I need duffels, Louis, Gucci, and Balenci. I need shoes, all 23.
On his new album, Ben, Macklemore offers listeners a closer look at his evolution as an artist, husband, and father. Whether it's poking fun at consumerism or reflecting on some of life's more difficult moments.
When I was growing up, we didn't have a diagnosis. We just kept taking more to get the serotonin.
Macklemore, who has been open about his years-long battle with addiction, relapsed during the production of Ben.
When was the inception of your addiction? When did that begin?
My addiction began the first time that my parents' Smirnoff half-gallon of vodka hit my lips.
How old were you?
14. I was in 8th grade.
Do you believe that there was a moment in time, a dark moment, that helped you realize that enough is enough, or were there multiple moments?
I remember Trisha taking a pregnancy test, and I was high. And I remember listening in the bathroom, and I heard tears coming from Trisha, and right then I knew she was pregnant.
Was she crying tears of joy?
No, I don't think so. I wasn't being the version of myself that I know is the best, and I never wanted my kids to see me loaded, but it's my truth.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think of, you know, there's a little voice in my head that's like, well, what if Sloan sees this? Yeah, Sloan can see this. This is something that Dad struggles with, and this is why Dad goes to his meetings over there. It's because my life depends on all of this.
I used to score touchdowns on this field.
Yes, you did.
The 39-year-old calls Seattle home, along with his wife Trisha and their 3 kids. His commitment to music and community has expanded to the city's local sports franchises.
Scroll, refresh.
He has ownership stakes in Major League Soccer's Seattle Sounders and the NHL's Seattle Kraken.
What would Ben say to young men?
Is keep going, keep striving. Don't feed into the instant gratification that is right in front of you. Zoom out, look at the bigger picture, and know that today's sacrifice is tomorrow's W.
So call me in the morning when the light wakes up. Let me know I'm alright.
A
Incredible.
couple of things that I
interview.
want to say. One, I want to thank Ben
Yeah.
for his honesty,
Yeah.
being completely transparent. Oftentimes, these artists, they put on this cloak, and they try to hide behind the glitz and the glamour. He did not. He unveiled himself in a way that I've never heard him before. And then I also want to say the album is incredible because he tapped into the most honest part of himself. He's only gotten better. And he was at the top of the game, and right now he is climbing his way back up to the top.
I'm so glad he is speaking his truth, but also putting it in his music, because that's what really affects this generation who listen to. I love his music and couldn't be more of a fan.
I think it's also important for people to take away the message of you get rejected time and time and time again, and you know you have something. You know you have something to offer.
Yeah.
And people say, this isn't good enough. So then you say, you know what? I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to do it myself.
Right.
And take it to the people, which is what he did, and look at him now.
And we've seen it time and time again where artists will go through dark times and never get out of those dark times. Your failures don't define you.
That's
and
right.
as Ben